What is up? I got a trade recap for today. Um, Rough day. Uh, I took a win. That's not why it was rough, but I want to go a little deeper into what I did wrong, what I could have avoided. Um, Hold up, I'm getting a couple things set up. And just my thought process going into the market today. One thing first, I hate all time highs. To be honest, August has been a great month so far. August has been looking very beautiful. I just hate all time highs. That's my only complaint. And to be honest, it's like August is supposed to be the worst month for trading because all the traders are going on vacation. They're off the charts. But it's honestly been pretty good other than the all time highs. Um, let's get the chart popped up. Window capture. Beautiful. That's what I love about this shit. So let's just get into the market on the higher time frames. What do we see? We are at all time highs. This is ES. Ignore all this tomfoolery. Actually, let's just get rid of it right now while we're at it. Oh, I should probably keep that one. Get rid of this. Alright, let's just go off from here. Take my socks off. This is going to be quick. It's going to be easy to understand, hopefully. And I'm going to do my psychology recap as well. Because took a win today, but I'm counting it as a loss because of my psychological issues that I experienced today. So, what do we see going into the market? We are pushing higher. When it's at all-time highs, why are you really looking for shorts is my thing. Now, this is the issue when we're at all-time highs. You can have two biases for the day. Either longs or shorts. Because we really don't know what the market's going to do. Right off the bat, what I did was I went on to the 15 and the 30 minute. We'll do the 15. I pulled up my simple sessions indicator. We are pushing higher. Honestly, it looks like consolidation. So what I'm expecting was market to coming into New York, make its manipulation, and then give us our entry. And you'll see what we end up doing. So right off the bat, what I was looking for today was, say this is at 7:45. We're going to open this up. Beautiful. 8:15. What I was wanting to see was, obviously we have no highs to sweep on NASDAQ or ES. We have no highs to sweep. So what I was hoping to see was either us keep pushing higher, retrace down into potentially this 30-minute gap, this 1 hour gap. The 1 hour gap was a lot further down, but just even this 30-minute gap I'd like to see us retrace into. And then show bullish continuation out of that. And then I was hoping to get in for longs to target like 5-minute highs or a 5-minute imbalance for like a 1-to-1, 1-to-2 today. That was my initial bias. I'm going to show you two setups if I can find them. Boom. Market opens. This is a 30-minute time frame. This shit fucking rips. It rips. We have a gap right here that we retrace into. We're going to go to the 5-minute though. We're going to let this play out. And I'm going to show y'all an entry that you could have gotten in on today. Alright. Oh, let's pause because we're seeing a little too much. Right off the bat, this is what my buddy ended up taking. It was a paper trade because he was at work. But this is what he was wanting me to take. My only issue with the setup was there was no liquidity sweep. But that's the issue is we're all-time highs. So it's hard to really get a buy-side liquidity sweep, especially at a high time frame key level. But right off the bat, what do we see? Market opens, we're pushing higher. And what do we get right off the bat? We have a 5-minute bullish for value gap. Get inverse. We're just going to play that right there. What do we see right now? Right after that. As soon as that gets inverse, which we can already check, so that's just one confluence, we have a bearish order flow is being confirmed. We have a 5-minute bearish for value gap. Bearish for value gap right along right here. What do we see? A retrace into this gap. That was at 9:05. We are in the macro. So we have a 5-minute inverse for value gap to the downside. A retrace into a 5-minute for value gap. And then what do we see right after that? This is when we retrace, like I said, 9:05, 9:06. That was around there. This is that 5-minute gap. We're looking at the most recent lows to enter in on. So I go to the 1-minute time frame I could have gone. What are our most recent lows? This right here. Down candle, up candle. This is a low. We break structure on it. That's where I could have gotten in. Or you could even say right around here where we break structure right here. Put my stops right at these highs. We're going to just let this play out. Yeah, we'll see. Another thing too is if I entered that trade, where am I targeting for my first take profits? We have no imbalances in between here, so this is why this is also a beautiful trade. We have a low right here. Oh, it's already been swept. We have a 5-minute imbalance here, 5-minute imbalance here. I could have targeted these 5-minute imbalances for a 1 to 1.48 and a 1 to 1.71. Could have targeted this low down here, this low. I could have targeted this 30-minute gap or this 1 hour gap, right? And we end up pushing all the way down, I believe, to go sell side. So the trade went crazy, right? And I'll just let this play out so y'all can see. We'll go to the 15-minute time frame. I believe. Oh no, we never swapped. We just tapped into that 1 hour. Did we ever inverse on that 1 hour is my question. Let me pause this because this is pushing too far. We did inverse that 1 hour. Inverse it just to go higher. Wonder if NASDAQ tapped into anything. We inversed that 1 hour on ES. We had a lot of sweeps here. So, I mean, we had the reasons to go higher too. And what you can see, we've been consolidating. So I'm going to go back to ES because I'm going to show you the setup that I believe I took this trade on ES. Let me look at Top Step real quick. I took it on NASDAQ. All right, we're going to go back to NASDAQ. Let's go back to NASDAQ. Let's go back to the 15-minute time frame. Let's do market replay. We'll go from 9 a.m. So I didn't catch those shorts. And I was still looking at this point for us to retrace into like a higher imbalance. Like I said, that 30-minute, which I believe is right here, that 1 hour imbalance we have right here, or even tap in this sell side and then go higher is what my bias was for the day. It was what I was looking to enter in off of. Do we ever get that? No, we do not. You will see what we get. So what do I see right here? We have a 15-minute retrace, which when we tapped into here, I was like, ooh, this could be nice. We could go higher. No, we inverse that shit. What do we see on top of that inverse? Now I got to be smart with this. We inverse on that. We go down and we sweep liquidity down here on NASDAQ. We sweep that sell side liquidity. We tap into this big 4 hour fair value gap, which if I pause this, if I go to here, that's this big 4 hour gap right in here. And let me zoom out. We targeted all the way down in this 4 hour gap, right? And you're going to see my trade, I believe. I think it's still up on here. Yeah, because it's right around here. At this point, after we've taken sell side, I am still looking for a reason to go higher. We tapped in this 4 hour. I was like, we could get some really strong bullish push out of here. Let's start looking for our confirmation confluences. This right here is not an imbalance. This right here is an imbalance. So my first confluence, or even not even that, down candle. Ooh, when we swept and we tapped into that 4 hour gap down here, we are either looking for an inverse fair value. If we're looking for longs, we're looking for an inverse fair value gap or a break of structure. The most recent break of structure was up here, right? Or we have, oh, it's wanting to lag on me. Or we have this gap. Want to notice something about this? It completely fills this 5-minute gap, respects it, and we start targeting lower. So this is what changed my bias to then go for shorts. And we're going to get into my psychological issues today. But I was looking for longs because I wanted to see an inverse of this gap and then a retrace possibly down lower into a 5-minute gap. Sadly, we had no 5-minute gaps in between here. So I was like, dude, longs is honestly not looking good. Not only that, I'm usually off the markets at 11. We have nothing to enter in off of at this point, and it's 10:45. So once we respect and we start pushing lower, I'm looking then at, all right, and I can pause this. Perfect. Get rid of this fucking bullshit. We respect this gap and we retrace out of it. What else do we see on top of that? We have another 5-minute gap right here. Did we inverse it? Nope. We start respecting this gap. Let's go back a couple bars. This is where I was entering it off of. We tap into this 5 minutes. So we retrace into, we swept liquidity and tapped into a 4 hour bullish fair value gap, pushed out of it to then go retrace into this 5-minute gap. We're filling orders within to then push lower and created this another 5-minute bearish imbalance. We retrace into this one. At this point, I'm like, if we inverse this, I'm fucking off for the day. I don't think I'm going to find my setup because at this point it is 11 to 11:05. I am still looking. And that's another thing. I should have just fucking got off the charts because that does not follow my rules to stay on longer. But we get a retrace into this. It is currently 11:05 a.m. So then what am I looking at? I'm going down to the 1 minute. And we can just go a little further back. I'm looking, once we retrace into this, and I see we're on the 5 minute, I'm looking for us to respect this gap and then go for a most recent low. The most recent low is right here, down candle, up candle. So this would be the point of our break of structure at this point, is what I'm looking for, right? And this is another reason why I probably just shouldn't have taken this trade, now that I think about it. We never break structure, and what do we actually start seeing? And this is because it's later in the day. We see fucking chop fest. This looks like a fucking barcode. I can pause this and I can go to the 5 minute. It's disgusting. Go to the 1 minute. It's disgusting. It's a bunch of chop, right? And at this point, this is showing that, all right, there's a lot of indecision in the market. So even if I get this break of structure, I don't know if it's solid because of all this indecision, right? We're just accumulating a fuck ton in here because it's later in the day. What do we end up seeing, which you're going to see here in a second? Oh, wow. That decided to lag. What do we end up getting? Move this a little more over here. My stop was right around here. We end up getting, on that 1 minute, that final break of structure is what we get. So I was entered a little, I turn my magnet off. I was entered a little around here for a 1-to-1. In hindsight, what do we see for our confluences? We have a sell side. This is a continuation model. Sell side liquidity sweep, retrace into a 5 minute, push lower to retrace into another 5 minute to get a 1 minute break of structure. So it was a pretty solid setup. We had the confluences, and what am I targeting? I thought at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm not too confident in the trade. I probably shouldn't even take this. I took it because I saw my setup, my confluences. In hindsight, I should have been off the fucking charts. I shouldn't even be trading it at this point. But since I entered the trade, where are my take profits? Well, it could be at this 4-hour gap because we could reject out of it, or it could be at this 5 minute low. Down candle, up candle. It could be at 5 minute lows. And what do we end up seeing? And this is, I was fucking, this trade had me all over the place because, like I said, this is my first take profit at this point. We're in right here. If I can, as soon as I enter and it goes lower and it's looking nice and then immediately goes higher. This trade's just fucking riding higher and it's getting closer to my fucking stop. So I'm like, damn, this is just not looking great. And on top of it, this candle was pretty damn close to my take profit. Was this a good risk reward? Fuck no. At least this one's a 1-to-1, right? At least it's a 1-to-1. What do we end up seeing finally? You're about to see it real quick. Boom. Take profit gets hit. I'm out of the trade for a 1-to-1. I de-risked on this setup just because of it being later in the day, and it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was a solid A+ continuation model. No, I think it could have been better, especially with this indecision before we got the break of structure. Now, let's say we create this low and we tap higher into here, and then we immediately push down and get that break of structure. That's even sexier to me, in my opinion, just because of how the market is looking. But all this in between here, this chop started from 11:05 and went all the way to 11:18. It was just 10 minutes of straight fucking chop. And you can see too is why it was smart to even put my take profit at this point. We didn't tap into this 1-hour gap that we had right here. We're in the 4-hour at this point. As soon as we tap into this draw, what do we see? Makes an immediate fucking reversal. Alright, my shit wants to lag. Look at that. Makes an immediate reversal. Where does it end up going all the way back to? It does a seek and destroy all the way back to where my stop loss was. And I would have been stopped out. So I could have, this is why it's also smart to be conservative with your take profits and not being greedy. Because I could have been like, a better risk to reward is tapping into this 1 hour. And maybe that's where we want to go. But also, like, we need to put our take profits at points where price might want to reverse. Because that's smart. We want to play this smart. So me doing that, I was like, well, what's the nearest point that price might want to reverse off of? It's right here at this 5-minute low. We had no imbalances between here and the 5-minute that we could have reversed off of. So I was like, it's probably this 5-minute low. And maybe it taps into it and it wants to go lower. Or maybe it kisses it and it fucking rips. Well, we kiss it right around here. And then what you can see, we fucking rip all the way back up. And that shit would have stopped me out. And then it comes all the way back down. This is later on in the day. I entered this trade at 11:22 a.m. Not the greatest. I should have been off the fucking charts. Yes, I took a win, but that does not fucking matter because it wasn't following my trading rules. So that was 2 setups you could have taken today. Let's just even get out of this now because I'm going to clean my charts. Let's go to the 4 hour and fucking clean some shit up. Now where are we sitting at the rest of the day? I have not been looking at the charts. We're still fucking near all-time highs, which I don't like. I don't want to be near all-time highs. Personally, today, too, I was looking for lawns, but I was like, you know what? Even if I don't catch a trade, I don't mind if we fucking go lower. Tomorrow, I honestly would like to see us. We have PPI tomorrow, so I'm curious to see how that's going to affect the market. PPI will be at, tomorrow is the 14th. 7:30, so we'll have, and unemployment claims. President Trump speaks at 12. That'll be interesting to see, but I'll be out of the market beforehand. I might not even trade tomorrow. We'll see what PPI does. If it takes out my draws and liquidity, then I'm going to be off the market. But we'll see what it wants to push the market. Personally, tomorrow, I would like PPI to just fucking make us inverse this gap, and then we have fucking places to go. Because, I mean, we could get a continuation model to go lower, or we could get a continuation model to go higher, but I don't know about reversals tomorrow. We will see. I'm just going to get rid of all this shit that doesn't need to be in here. So what's still important? This 4 hour gap is still important. That's 100%. We inverse a 4 hour gap right between here. We have a, tomorrow's going to be tricky, but we'll see with, because right now the session's open, Asian session's open and for a couple more hours. So we will see what the market wants to do with that. But we have a 4 hour bearish imbalance right here. Damn, it's late. I need to go shower. We have a 4 hour bearish imbalance right here. We'll see what price wants to do off of that because then we might just bounce between these two tomorrow. Hopefully Asia session does something with one of these imbalances, and I'm hoping it's the fucking bullish one. We can go into the 1 hour too. We also, that's one thing I need to mark out as well, is we have some buy side liquidity, a 4 hour buy side liquidity right there. Let's go to the 1 hour. Get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. What do we have on the 1 hour? Oh, fucking indecision. This is disgusting. Right between here, that's gross. And it's not even like it's moving in higher highs like we have in here. It's just fucking chop. This literally looks like a barcode. Down candle, up candle. We do have a low down here, a 1 hour sell side low. That's something to know. And this might already be tapped in the morning. We'll see. Up, down candle, up candle, down candle, up candle. We have another one right there. Down candle, up candle. We have another low right here, which could be tapped into. Sell side liquidity. I don't even know if I'm going to target these draws. We have, I just got to think to myself a little more. I'm going to spread this out because we have a 1 hour. So inside this 4 hour, we also have a 1 hour that hasn't been tapped yet. Ideally, tomorrow, I'd like to see us come into this 1 hour, maybe respect it, fill orders within, and then push higher. Because it's in this 4 hour, and then we also have another 1 hour down here, which that's going to be interesting to see what we do off of that. We have a 4 hour, we have a 1 hour up here and a 4 hour right here, but the 4 hours already tapped into it, so I mean, that's just going to be something to see with what we do off of that. And that's on NASDAQ. I mean, that's on NASDAQ. NASDAQ, we can get rid of this shit too. In the second here, I'm going to go over just my psychology for myself, my psychology review, which I want to start doing every time I actually do a trade recap, is just go over my psychology and what I was thinking. Up candle, down candle, high right there. We have this imbalance. Wow. Dude, the pairs kind of look a little different. Yeah, because we have a 4-hour gap in between here on NASDAQ, and the S&P does not have that gap. But what do we do see is NASDAQ has this 4-hour bullish fair value gap. Bullish fair value gap. NASDAQ has this 4-hour bullish imbalance that we're respecting. We'll see with what we do out of that. Tomorrow, honestly, maybe it's probably continuation to go up, to go higher, but we'll see with PPI, like I said. That's on the 4-hour. Do we have any other 4-hour imbalance? So we have a 4-hour imbalance right here, and then if we go to the 1 hour, damn, this is nasty, dirty work. We have this 4-hour imbalance. We have this 1 hour in here as well. We have another 1 hour in here as well. We can mark out our lows as well for tomorrow for sell side. Somewhat equal lows right there. Not really, it's not equal lows. I'm being goofy. We have buy side liquidity right here. Buy side liquidity right there. Other than that, I don't think I want to mark up nothing else. Maybe just even go from simple sessions, plug and play. We have New York's high, around New York's low. London's high already was taken out today. London's low was taken out today as well. Asian session's high was taken out, and we still have Asian session, previous day Asian session lows to be taken out. As right now, this is Asian session's high and Asian session's low currently. Which that's also buy side liquidity, which I'm gonna mark up. And we have the low right here, which is down candle, up candle. We have sell side liquidity right there. You just go back to NASDAQ to make sure I'm marking up the same tomfoolery. Yeah, that's a high. Buy side. And down candle, up candle, that is a low. We'll see what Asia session wants to do. It's going to be interesting. 100% it is going to be interesting to see what it does going into tomorrow. But now, finally, we can go into this. Fill this out every Sunday. That's every Sunday. That's pre-post trade questions. I already know that. Trade process tracker. Visual process. Where is it? Bro, tell me I didn't already lose it. I just have to trade process pre-post trade questions. This is probably it. Nope, I already have that up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being mad goofy. Get rid of Top Step. We can get rid of the fucking YouTube. It's here. I already know it's here. All right, the trading cycle for refinement loop for today. Track every trade in your psychology. Ignore my spelling errors. Did I follow my plan today? A plus setup, B. So we had a sell side liquidity sweep, retrace into a 5-minute gap, push lower, and we get another retrace into a 5-minute and a 1-minute breaker structure. Solid setup. But did it follow my plan? No, because I was fucking off my trading hours. Should have been off the market beforehand. What emotion got in the way? Greed. Greed today. I mean, not being greedy with my take profits. I was smart with that, but just understanding like, hey, if my draws and liquidity are already hit for today, just fucking get off. Be done. Get off the market and treat it like it's back testing. Skip to the next day. Did I hesitate, force it, revenge trade, or avoid a valid setup? I was definitely hesitant today because me entering in that trade, no joke, guys, I literally was like wanting to close out early because I was like, fuck, I shouldn't even enter this. It's too late in the fucking day. I'm like, if this was a setup that showed at like 10:40, then beautiful. But I got in this setup at 11:22. It's like, it wasn't great. Rate 1 out of 10, my confidence today. Confidence was kind of quite low just because of all-time highs. Clarity was also low because of all-time highs. I'd say confidence was like a freaking 5 out of 10. Clarity was a 5 out of 10. Focus, 5 out of 10. Emotional control, say 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 with emotional control. because like I said, I wanted to close out of that trade early, but I didn't, and I just waited. Set up quality. Uh, I feel like it was, you could say four to five confluences. You could say that's A, B plus range. Trade execution, I did execute the trade very well, just on entering in and where my take stop loss was and where my take profits were. Discipline could have been fucking better. Discipline needed to be worked on today because I should have been off. Weekly review, that's weekly review. I'm reading a little bit more. And I suggest you guys build it for traders. If you do want to work in your psychology, I build something like this. So like a refinement plan. Ask what's one thing what's one thing do I want that I want? Do I want? What's one thing that I want to refine next week? What's the rule, trigger, action that will fix it? Example, I hesitated on clean setups. I'll force myself to enter at least one A plus trade early in the session or journal why I skipped it. Monthly assessment. Am I emotionally neutral while trading? Are my checkboxes, discipline, clarity, etc. trending upward? Am I following my rules more often? Are you missing fewer high quality setups? Is my win rate or risk to reward improving? And then use ChatGPT to calculate it. Just from the last week, this week, my win rate has definitely improved. My risk to reward is staying around the same with a 1-to-1 to 1-to-3 risk to reward. Ask myself, would I hire myself as a funded trader based on my data this month? We gotta wait till the end of the month. We'll see. And I want to be consistent with that. I'm showing proof. Like, I will fucking show proof. Straight up, no bullshit. Performance since. That was last week, me being a dumbass. This is this week in the last 2 days. That's as real as it fucking gets. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to bullshit. And it's the end of the day, even if people ain't watching, I'm honest with myself. So in a year from now, people can look back on this video. Because my goal is to start a personal brand with this, but in a year from now, people can look back on this and look at where I was, look at where I started, and notice my fuck ups. So, would I hire myself as a funded trader based on the data this month? We will see at the end of the month. Optional setup recognition tracker. Log setups you saw but didn't take. We did that today. Was your analysis correct? Why didn't I enter? And then bonus visual progress tracker. And that's all for me. Percentage of trades where I follow my rules. Daily psych score average. 1 out of 10 missed for sticking setups. Yeah. That's really it going into the day. I got out at a 1-to-1. I survived today when it came to trading today, but I didn't follow my rules with getting off early in the day. So that's just something to take. And going into tomorrow, we'll see with what happens with my draws on liquidity that get hit. I have them up right now. It's messy, but we'll see what the market wants to do tomorrow. Just going to be super fucking disciplined. Hopefully PPI is like a doji and it's not a fucking super huge candle that rips and manipulates all my draws. And that's really it. We'll see what PPI does with the market, and if it's fuckery, I'm going to get off. I won't even be on the market tomorrow. I can do my other shit and maybe do some strategy creation videos. But if it's still good, then yeah, I'll be on the market tomorrow, but I'm expecting not to take a setup tomorrow. I'm expecting PPI to be a little tricky, and I'm expecting to get on the market but not take anything. Unless my edge in the market shows, and that's my continuation model, which is the liquidity sweep, retrace into a 5-minute gap, show that it's respecting it, and then get like a 1 minute, and maybe equilibrium on top of that, and then get like a 1 minute breaker structure out of there, 2 minute breaker structure out of there, or my reversal where it's a liquidity sweep, 5-minute breaker structure, retrace into a gap, and then 1 minute breaker structure out of there, maybe equilibrium tied in there as well, or retracing into an order block and not an imbalance. If I'm not seeing those tomorrow, then I'm not gonna fucking take anything. If I see an SMT tomorrow, well, even off of that, if I see like a 1 hour sweep tied in with a 5-minute SMT and then like a 1 minute breaker structure, I'm gonna de-risk on it, but I'm taking that setup 100%. And that was kind of what happened this. If I can even go back to my Top Step dashboard this last week, 4 trades. A lot of those were my own issues, but a lot of those were SMTs, and I just had the wrong bias with them. But I took those setups, and I'm telling you right now, if I see those same SMTs pop up, I'm taking those trades, and I'm betting on myself. But yeah, that's the video for today. Ideally, I can end this week profitable, and ideally, by the time it's week 5, I end it profitable as well. Just gonna be disciplined, stick to my rules, and just being smart. Have a wonderful day, night, whatever time it is. I'm gonna go hop in the shower and then I'm going to bed. Peace.